Hey everybody, today's a story about how pressure makes diamonds, how having an innate curiosity for discovery helped make Noe a maven in the world of small business strategy. See, long before he was helping service leaders expand into new regions, he was just responsible for receiving and making calls on behalf of his family business. Granted, not every call was always a happy call. He grew some pretty thick skin at an early age. But to know that it was earned by getting to support mom and dad, he wore that rugged demeanor like it was a badge of honor. Now, as years come to pass, the seaside town where he was raised becomes a hotspot for shop owners that are looking to escape the demand of a big city lifestyle. And needless to say, that influx of competition isn't exactly something that mom and dad ever really prepared for. So as they see new ads start to flood the local paper, it's Noe that can feel that the calls he typically takes become lesser and lesser by the month. Till comes that evening at the dinner table where dad stands up to share that he has to cut costs. He has to lay off the technicians, and that he'd be assuming the duty of going back into the field to do jobs himself. But there's a small problem. Noe knew that all the cortisone shots in the world wouldn't save his dad from having that arthritis eventually cripple his knees. So in that moment of passion, he looks at his dad and asks, "What is our timeline? How much time do we have before we hit the red?" And with near tears in his eyes, his father responds that he just spoke to the accountant, and that if things can't turn around, they're about 120 days from going under. As we can all tell, it's really starting to hit the fan. And even then, Noe could see that even by cutting costs, it wouldn't change the fact that without new accounts coming in the door, the business had no chance at staying afloat. So with his back against the wall, he sets out in search of a solution. Starts attending networking events, just to find it's a bunch of employees hanging out with no real prospects. Next, he tries creating a social media account to do outreach, just to learn that without content or any credibility online, he doesn't have the means to earn the trust of others. So as time is ticking away, he wakes up one morning with a newfound direction. He decides he's going to go back to everything he's ever known, and he's going to pick up that phone. Except for this time, he wouldn't be reaching out for business. This time, he was going to reach out to everyone they ever worked with to ask for testimonials on the jobs they had delivered well done. Strategically enough, he sets every meeting to take place in person about an hour before business starts, and he does this for two principal reasons. First, he knew that if he could catch his clients before the day dragged on them, they could be their most energized self to share a conversation. And second, he knew that if he was lucky, he'd get to acknowledge that neighboring business owner as he was going into his meeting, such that at its conclusion, he'd have both the energy and the confidence to go back and knock on their door to share everything the client had to say about his service. As you can see, Noe's evolving beyond just the guy on the phone. He's coming to embody everything that it means to be pounding the pavement for his family business. Even then, most business owners weren't kind enough to hear him out. So this isn't the story of some overnight success, but rather about 30 days prior to that brink of bankruptcy, and about 40 testimonials later, the phone finally starts ringing. See, it was his ambition to look after mom and dad, to go out and find that new opportunity that stirred enough word of mouth to not only save the company, but by the following year, he was being heralded as a magnet in his city. Now, I share this story because I want you to know that it's rare to imagine that the solution is ever just going to present itself in front of us. We have to be willing to go out there and fight for it. And it's most common that the fear that we'd be wasting our efforts by maybe looking in the wrong direction that has paralyzed the many from ever even trying. But it's those that embrace embarking on an unbound journey that are the ones most likely to find what they were looking for. Now, as you can imagine, Noe's an explorer, and in his heart, all he knows how to do is explore what the world has to offer so he can go out there and grab it with his own two hands on his own terms, to be able to come back and provide for the people he cares about, to have that sense of fulfillment that there is a purpose for him on this planet. Now, if this story resonates with you, if it reminds you of anyone you've ever worked with or anyone that ever inspired you, I'd appreciate if you could just share their name or tag them somewhere in the comments down below. I think we could all benefit from knowing more people like this. If there's any feedback or anything you'd like to share with me in private, personally, you could send me an email or you could reach me over DM. Lord knows I'd love to connect with you. All the same, this has been another HireMe Lewis story. I hope you all are having a great day and that you come ready for the next one.